Hello everyone, Fangs of Fire here, and welcome to another match of the Immortal Invitational Tournament. Today we are going to be watching Snuffalufagus as the hunters hunt Geo as Dracula. And with me today, uh, in the side mics, is Captain Gyro. Thank you for joining me, Gyro.
Hi, everybody, and thank you for joining us here for the stream.
Uh,
Speaking
Gyro.
of your stream, let me hop onto your stream right now.
Yes, I won't. I am not yet well versed enough in the lore of OBS to use use keep track of chat well enough. So Gyro will be doing me a favor and taking care of that for me. Uh, Gyro has already begun using his role of comedian of the community to.
Oh, doing my best, keep things interesting. All right, yeah, we're live. We got good sound. Everything's in good shape here. So let's have some fun. Where is Dracula going to begin?
uh, since we have the traditional Scott sword set up, from Snuff. He appears not to have adopted the superhero start yet. Uh, I would say that, uh, from what I've seen of Geo's gameplay, he tends to go east.
Right, could be east. I mean, with the 158, you could do a central start. You could do Amsterdam. Could do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Who knows? Who
That's
knows yet? All we can do is play the wait and see.
yeah. That's actually some very good smokescreen stuff for Mina.
What did she get? She
Garlic wreath
got
and good
good
luck.
luck and garlic read. Okay.
That's like,
Yeah.
okay.
She didn't reveal a renewed vigor or a surprising return or something like that. Nothing that's going to make Dracula go, ah, I got to remember that for later. Unless he does plan on using a roadblock. I don't know if you listened to Roscoe and I in our ranting and raving, but I did bring up a niche interaction where, you can play Speedy Telegraph to make sure that whoever has good luck can play it to get rid of the roadblock token, right? That's a bit of a niche interaction. That's actually a card combo. Right. Oh, roadblock is in Dr. Seward's way, and Mina's holding on to good luck. What do we do? Well, you can play Speedy Telegraph. Have Mina play the good luck on her turn first.
Yeah.
They
Really,
can mess things
for
up.
yeah, it's definitely a far better example is Money Trail, which
Mm-hmm.
is far
It's a
more
shame
reasons.
about good luck. I think. Like, I mean, it's just should be a better card. It's fun on paper. It looks like a fun card to play. Like, we're gonna get rid of Dracula's roadblock or his ally at a
Oh,
key opportunity,
scouts,
but it just
we
never
gonna
works
get
out.
an early reveal?
Hey, Scott Sword, where are these scouts going? The hired Scots,
Valona and
Valona and
Varna.
Varna.
Okay,
Okay, that's
non
interesting, I guess.
non Athens opening.
Yeah,
You know that much.
maybe he's in England, dodging all those hired scouts with ease. I hear some Draculas like to do that.
It is true that just the other day I myself did that for Pizza Wizard, but sadly he caught me.
Yeah, but he didn't catch you with hired scouts in week one. There was that at least. There
Yeah,
is some merit to the England start in that regard.
yeah. It was quite delightful. Uh, and yet at the same time, sometimes you kind of want to get found semi early, in a
I've
certain
been thinking the
sense.
same thing. Yeah, because it gets the hunters moving, and then you can move to wherever they just left, basically, right?
Yeah.
If you do something like start in, let's say you start up in like 39 or 29 or Paris, right? That kind of area. Well, as Dr. Seward comes in, start mopping up your encounters, you can go to Spain, right? That's a very simple example, but that's kind of the idea. Once they get moving, you can take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Whereas if they're just standing there menacingly, it can be difficult to do anything with that.
Yeah, it reminds me of my game versus another game this turn I have. Won't spoil which one, but my opponent chose to spread his hunters in 4 separate locations. So chose to simply. I actually chose to start 2 spaces away from one for my first move. I moved next to one of the hunters, and even though he drew local rumors right away and revealed me, I mean, what's he gonna do? He's right there alone. And then I kept
I
just and I kept just dancing around him, playing stuff
oh,
down.
and that can be beautiful if the hunter player like keeps drawing hired scouts and evil presence and newspaper reports, and it's like, yeah, you know where I am already, and none of that stuff's gonna help you.
Yeah,
And that's also really useful because Dracula gets to see all that, except for like newspapers, right? But
yeah, it's definitely very uh, it and it ended up working out. I got a full 15 on my opponent.
yeah, Scotsford says you almost had an easy victory against Pizza Wizard. It was really close
Yeah,
until he dealt with Edinburgh.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, that
You were
old
the one who
man
recorded
dealing with
that,
the
man.
lair. Yeah, I'm
You're
just giving you some of the chat. Yeah, it was a nice lair, he says.
uh, thank you, Scotsford.
Why don't you have the numbers turn on, Mr. Fangs of Fire?
Oh,
You
I
don't
just
like
go
to
by
play
the
with the
name.
numbers
I
on?
just go by the names. I simply know the map well enough to know each city by name. Uh,
But do you know them by number?
admittedly not. So let's see if we can fix that.
Well, it may at least help for the viewers because I frequently refer to them by
Saying it.
number.
It's city numbers are on, but they just
No, so go
there
to
we
the
go.
settings. Yeah, it should be on when hovered, on. Well, if you want to show them.
Yeah,
I did this with my buddy the other day because I was teaching him how to play.
yeah. It's definitely.
Well, I mean, it's really up to you. I just thought because I frequently refer to them by number, it might help the viewers know where I'm talking about at least.
Yeah, definitely a good insight. Thank you.
We've got the
But
misdirect.
uh, yeah.
Typical stuff here. Dracula
So
moving.
we were talking before the match, Jarrow, uh, before or this started while we were waiting, and, about the current standing, seeing as we're actually the most recent results are the precise halfway mark, uh, through the first through the as it covers the first 5 weeks. The garlic farmers are currently we're sitting pretty with 8-2, with the closest being the pirate with Team Pirate Wizard, with 6-4. Uh, but what, uh, from from what I've heard, Scotsword took a blow from Mythios, so Snuff can take one mm, from Geo as well. That'll take a heavy blow. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, this is where
Rumor token.
Geo has to really, like,
He's got to carry the veteran.
he
Because
has to pull through. Somebody's got
here's
to
the
do it.
thing. So far, Gio's not been beaten even once this tournament.
Nope. No, he hasn't.
Only Scotsword has. he's getting so old and senile as Van Helsing.
Well, there's still much tournament to go, you know?
Yeah.
Those losses, you get better after them, typically.
Yeah.
It's victories, not what makes people better at the game. It's when they lose that they learn from their mistakes. And let's not forget that Dracula is not insignificantly stronger than he used to be, okay?
Very true.
He's a lot closer to the 3rd edition terror that I used to know. So, you know, oh, he says Geo lost to Pizza Wizard. Okay, I must
Oh.
have forgotten about that one.
Hmm.
So he's not quite undefeated.
Oh.
Yeah, I
Okay.
wager Scott Sword is just getting honed up back into fighting shape for the big comeback in the second half here.
Yeah, which honestly, that's is kind of how it has been shaken out for me and Randiv. We just flat lost the our first four games in the first 2 weeks, but we've won 6 games out of the past 8 since then.
Nice.
Uh, so yeah, we pulled double on 2 teams, and then in weeks 3 and 4 we pulled double, and then in weeks 5 and 6 we pulled one each. Uh, Most recently with Pirate Wizard. Uh,
Have
so
you
so is that
have you played all your games as Dracula?
not all, no. Admittedly, most. It's actually turning out that way with most teams. Uh, Most of the teams there's one person doing Dracula and one person doing Hunters. Uh, in this case, Geo is Drac and Scott's Sword is Hunters. Geo only did Hunters once. It's quite possible that that was the time when Geo was beat. Uh, I don't know.
All right, rumor token creeping along the trail here at the 4th space.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Still
Yeah, but there's still. This is the last game of. Oh, Wolfhorn. There's.
typical, makes sense.
Yeah, there's still the. Uh, there's still 4 or more weeks worth of games before the top 2. Before we pair off in the results to battle it out to see which team got first. To basically just battle it out between first, second, third, and fourth, fifth, and sixth,
Mm-hmm.
and even in theory, even the High Lords of Low Water, Wakajik and Sir Backstab, who are so far struggling, but I mean they're not the only ones struggling, but they're currently at bottom. Uh, uh, could make a comeback and come out on top. Oh, interesting. Whoa, vampire galore.
So what's the first vampire? Does that mean it's an aristocratic, or is it that other new vampire,
Or
was it
the third
the third
reckless.
reckless? It's like you can only really guess, but if you're going off of probabilities, you want to guess that it's an aristocratic, right? Because Dracula has 4 aristocratics. So what are the chances he saw all them vampires, but not a single one was an aristocratic? I mean, it's possible, but it's kind of crazy. Right?
I mean, yeah, that sort of thing happened with me in England.
All right, but then you wonder, like, if it is an aristocratic, did he put, or if it is a fighter vampire, would he put an aristocratic behind it? I might, if Wolfhorn was still down the trail like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough to say, because I mean, aristocratic in the first spot I think is actually not that bad, because they might go for it and get delayed, and then the next card might mature, right?
Yeah, to be sure.
But if you put a rumor token on it, then they might reveal the stake, and then they don't become delayed.
Yeah, but it will cost them a stake on a non-fighter vamp, so...
Oh, 3 aristocratic vampires, 3 reckless vampires, and 2 new vampires in the deck.
Oh.
Sorry about that, viewers.
Interesting.
I was mistaken about that.
Interesting choice to move Seward now. That would seem to indicate that... Oh, nice! I would say that's definitely good timing. Especially if he doesn't have a newspaper to show him where
It
that
actually
is.
does make some sense to move Seward, because if Dracula is playing like the typical
Oh.
Dracula game, there we got Agatha.
That's
I just say
awkward.
you search with her.
Yeah, you need the information.
Search with her, hope for the surprising
Or
return later
if you have a
don't
newspaper, you can ally. If you have a
yeah.
But if not, okay.
It's not Amsterdam. See, it actually makes sense to move John Seward there, because even though you haven't figured out anything about where Dracula is yet, he's likely not near Dr. Seward, or his first encounter wouldn't be in one of those port cities in Spain, because Dr. Seward could get there by just moving a single space, right? The entire meta is based around Dracula visiting an extremity location to put down his first encounter. So it follows that you might as well go ahead and move now, and then you'll actually be closer to whatever that extremity location is with Dr. Seward. Because it just wouldn't make any sense to put it in that ring in Spain. It was not Amsterdam. Nice check, though.
I mean, if you have equipped Harker, I actually would have checked in at Bari. Because you've already begun the process of moving towards Amsterdam, and you have Harker to tell you if it is there.
Right.
Right. So check somewhere that you're not near.
That's smart thinking. You're right.
Yeah. So I would have. Yeah. I would have done Bari there, or possibly just Rome, Naples, not necessarily Bari.
Yeah, I could see that. And then if doesn't reveal anything, you've still got Dr. Seward to go to Amsterdam or Hamburg if you got to go there, and then the other 2 can head into the east if they need to.
Yeah. What's the discard looking like? Nothing all that special here yet. 3 pistols. There is 1 crucifix, which... I mean, it's not unusual, but it is interesting. Well, time for soon in the moment of truth. Has not found it.
Find out at dawn. Yeah, a little bit of unpredictable hunter movement can be just what the doctor ordered sometimes, I played Strider one time. He was hunters, and the first time he found my trail was just by moving into Paris. And I was like, oh, right. You just found it. You didn't use anything. You just walked right into it. Last thing I expected him to do, because it was only like day 3,
Okay.
You never know. Something unexpected can trick the vampire. Okay, no newspapers.
Alright.
It's like the commentator curse or something. Every game I spectate.
Every game, Gyro?
When I'm I feel like the last few games I've been commentating on, nobody gets newspaper reports.
Rifle and Heavenly Host. Interesting.
He's got to have a horse then, and maybe another one.
Most likely, yeah. Definitely a
horse. Or
horse.
he's like clutching stakes, maybe. And because if this vampire matures, he wants to make sure they stake the next one. That could be a possibility too. it's part of the fun, I think, is trying to work out what strategy the hunter player's trying to shape up with the hand that he has.
Had to discard an event. Well, he had the good luck to discard, did he? Oh, he did not discard it. So that means he had some other trashy thing to discard. Possibly had blood transfusion.
Long night, maybe. That's right. We don't get to see those.
Yeah.
That makes good sense, yeah.
Yeah, unless they were the thing that Mina had face up.
Right.
All the holy bolts are gone. What?
Scott Sword's funny.
What did he say?
After I mentioned that game where Strider ran into me unexpectedly, Scott Sword said he didn't expect it either.
Well, of course you didn't. You weren't there.
Strider didn't expect it either. Anyway, we got one more day until this matures.
However, we will know where it is, so there's no... At the very least, Geo won't be able to do the sort of thing I did yesterday, being able to make a secret lair. Galatz. Sense of emergency would do the job.
Yeah, but if there's a hide card, you'd be in a lot of trouble.
That gets revealed along with Harker.
Oh, of course, yeah. Since Galatz has been revealed, hide would be revealed. That's right. That's right.
So there's no hide. So if they had sense of emergency, or a chartered carriage for that matter, they can get there.
Yeah, you can't forget about that little railway to Galatz.
So, yeah, Galatz is actually one of the better eastern locations, because when they start in Vienna, they can either one doesn't matter, speeds you all the way there. One action.
Yeah, the charter carriage would get them right there. You're right. And if they had discovered it the day before, you can get there by just taking the train there in 2 days, which is pretty easy to pull off. And if you can't pull that off, then hopefully you're going to horse there, right? Like, you've got one or the other going.
Yeah, and since Gul'dan discarded a Heavenly Host, that we are and with how thin the item deck is, whoa.
Oh, he's just supplying.
Well, I hope Mina's got something then. I mean, Van Helsing will have time to trade her something if he has something.
Maybe the new meta is to just ignore Dracula and let him have his stupid rumor token and just supply and kill him later. I kid. I don't think that's a good strategy.
Yeah, Peace Wizard only did that because he simply couldn't find me.
Yeah, he had no other choice. But I mean, we've all been there. You didn't get your newspapers, you didn't find where he is, and now he gets this mature, you're just gonna have to deal with it, right?
Okay.
Maybe for some people, they'd rather just hold on to their cards. Why take a chartered carriage to Galatz to kill a reckless vampire when you can take a chartered carriage to Genoa and kill Dracula, right?
I might have moved Van Helsing off, because you know the general area now.
Yeah, maybe. Unless he's got plans, right? Like maybe he really needs the supplies to keep going, or he needs to trade some stuff around.
The thing is, if this matures, that means that Drac gets the wolf form. Charred carriage. There it is.
Doing something about it. Okay. Snuff was like, "Take it easy, everybody. Would you all just relax?"
Yeah, now
I got this under control.
Yeah, now Harker's gonna do some good work. I mean, he already has, but now he'll show him one location after the other.
Time for him to flex his intellectual muscles.
I mean, he'll know whether it's Klausenberg or Bucharest up next. I would imagine Mia has a stake. Otherwise, why?
why engage in this madness? Yeah, that would be
I
it'd
mean,
be crazy
perhaps
without
after seeing so many fighter vamps in his hand, as you said, you can be the probability says that this is going to be an aristocratic, but
yes, but you never know. And one thing I've also learned is like, what's the other way to easily kill a reckless vampire, right? Holy bullets is like a
yeah,
good, like if you don't have the stake, you could still get into the fight with it and kill with holy bullets. And if you have a pistol and a rifle with holy bullets, then you might even risk the knife fight or the nighttime fight. I mean to say, right? Because it's nighttime, it's dangerous, but I've got two guns instead of one. I only need to land a single hit, and there's a pretty good chance he might try to claw you at night.
yeah,
The danger though is doing that with Mina Harker, because the vampire might not even know or care about the guns at all. He might just mesmerize you in the first round and fang you in the second round, right?
yep.
So it's really dangerous for her of all people, I think, to be trying to rock the gun holy bullet combo.
I mean, we know that that's not the case. Okay, yep,
No, it's
aristocratic.
staking time.
Time to have some grilled meat, as you like to say.
Yeah, they're dead. That's a dead one. One down. An entire handful of them to go. Not to mention the big cheese himself. He
Okay.
probably. I wonder if he's plonked down the ones that were in his hand yet, or if he's still holding on to them.
I would have guessed that quite Hmm. Let me see.
Is because he doesn't have a rumor token yet, right? He's about to have a rumor token.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I might have.
does he use it up or does he wait?
I mean, since he has so many, I would probably throw down one or two here and there.
Yeah, I probably would too.
It
Just
is
mess
definitely
with it.
noteworthy. By the way, that I think Snuff will actually be pretty happy that the next spot is Bucharest, because that means that Mina can go there, deal with what's there. So long as it's not a vamp. Whoa.
And then she can supply all at once.
Misdirect.
Okay, all right. He's probably got a good reason. He's
Interesting.
cooking something up.
Huh.
Rip vampire. Scott Sword is absolutely gutted by that. Poor guy. They might as well have put a stake right through Scott Sword's heart.
Well, does Scott Sword have a heart? Because if he's a sword, how does he have a heart?
Glass. Glass still has the rumor token on it.
Yeah.
That's classic. Maybe Dracula would go back there and double vamp.
Possibly. So,
What's he gonna do? I mean, where did Dracula misdirect? Like Munich, maybe?
I don't know, but the next reel will definitely give me a lot of information to work with, I think. Or actually,
I mean, there's really only two options. He either darted down towards Athens in that direction, or he went towards Munich in that direction. And why would he misdirect? I think it's because it has something to do with Munich over here, with this whole east-west area. Maybe not. Well, you could have gone 10.
That would have been the very spot. That would
28.
have been the very spot he jumped over with the wolf form.
It could have been 1028, Wolf to 59, and then you go to Munich, and then you go to like Nuremberg or 60 or wherever, and you misdirect Munich. Does that check out? I think that could be it. So
Yeah.
the bombing might have horsed right over where the wolf form is.
Yeah, this
and then
next
the space
this,
after Bucharest is either 6 or it's 28. Belgrade or Klausenburg.
Sophia is also an option. Actually,
Yeah, you're right. It could be Sophia. Well, we're gonna know
yes,
thanks to Jonathan Harker's
yeah,
strong academic legwork.
yeah. And if he has managed to slip into Central Europe while Van Helsing still hasn't come off, that's very good for Geo.
Yeah. I mean, he still has to get his butt moving, but maybe he has his reasons. He's trading. Godalming. Okay. Mina's gonna search at good old Saboteur in Bucharest.
Well, she's already showing a rifle, so why not?
He's a man after my own heart. Saboteur in 10 is an all-time classic.
Yeah, what gets revealed next? Well, Constanta, so no Munich business. So that means that Dracula is now starting to be in something of a tight corner.
I wonder if...
So that would mean that he will form down to Sophia.
I wonder if he misdirected that deliberately to make it look like he did exactly what I was trying to suspect he did.
I don't know.
Why
misdirect otherwise? I expect that he went to Sofia, Valona, Athens, Valona. It's basically the Athens play late, not at the beginning.
Athens, then misdirect 55 and move back to it. Okay,
yeah.
That's
so
possible, I guess. Yeah. Yeah.
My guess is that he just went into Salonika.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I can't think of any other reason why he would misdirect, unless he was doing pretty much what you just described.
Yeah.
I mean, you want them to work through as many encounters as possible, right?
Yeah, which means that he will be going to sea next turn.
He's gonna get this Constanta mature too. Because of the Saboteur.
Yeah. But one thing post vampire thing. Honestly, it's most. Oh, apparently I was not mistaken there. He did not wolf.
What is going on?
I see. He fake wolf formed it to Varna. And then it misdirected Sophia so that he could come back there.
Then did he hide?
Well, no, he didn't.
Because if he wolf formed to Varna...
Or...
then he went to Sophia... Then he went to, like, 46 or 55 and went back to Sophia. Okay.
Actually, something that makes... and it now has gone down... I think that... possibly... He wolf formed possibly to Belgrade. Then went to Sophia after that. Then...
This is some wacky stuff.
Yeah... Where... Whoa. Okay. That's good to have been dealt with.
I've never seen one do this before.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
An unorthodox trail.
Well...
He searched a hoax. Okay.
Yeah.
Delayed, but hoax dealt with. So this, what's coming up here? What's going to mature?
I'm gonna guess that it's wolves.
Why do you say that?
It's the type of thing you put after a. It's just the type of thing you put after a vampire. And
Yeah, especially if it's aristocratic.
yeah.
And it's like, oh, this probably won't mature anyway, right? At least they'll have to bump into these wolves at some point.
Yeah.
And if it does mature, no big deal, because all you lose is wolves. Not much of a loss. Let's find out if you're right. Or if he makes it into a lair.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got the lair in Bucharest.
Hmm.
I mean, if you're gonna lair anything, it actually makes sense to lair Bucharest,
Oh, it was
Galatz, and
the.
Klausberg.
It was the fake
Yeah,
wolf
it was
horns
a
of
fake
Varna.
wolf form. Yeah, you're right about that. And then
Okay.
moved to 50. Then he moved to one of those spaces that's adjacent to 50, and he moved
Desecrated
back
soil.
there.
That's also a nice thing to put her down early to help cycle cards. That was another.
Well, yeah, he'll get his health back.
Yeah, he got 1 HP out of that. So I definitely might have considered making that a lair. So that means that from Sophia, uh, he'll be taking an immense risk if he's heading back. What if he chose to go west to Belgrade because he wasn't in Sarajevo. So I think he's on a port, quite possibly Salonika, and is going to leave the east. But does he really need to leave the east? I mean, renewed vigor. I mean, lungs are laid. Therefore, he's no threat for the next day. I think that you might want to throw down a high card now.
I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that this next thing could easily mature as well. Because we don't know for. I mean, it's possible Mina has a horse, but if.
He's used
But he uses.
he's used 10 and 50 as like a shield to deploy his delaying cards there, right? And they're in front of 17 and 56.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
That's actually something I do. I often I often tend to just go around my starting location, placing down bats, saboteurs, and such.
Yeah.
To protect a hoax, my vamp, whatever it is.
Yeah, he's done that pretty effectively. He put up a little wall around the coast. He put on his Bob the Builder hat.
Okay, so does Mia have a horse? If so, will he roll high enough? Oh,
Take a trade.
with
Where Dracula?
choosing to withdraw. I can't say I agree with that. I would either supply her or deal with the encounter, as she is down an item from the stake use. So I would have supplied there.
Yeah, a psychic scan somewhere. could have been appropriate. I mean, we might have missed it in all of our chatter, but psychic
No,
scans could have figured out which region Dracula moved to after Sophia. But there's been so much delaying stuff going on, it's been tough to get people in order for that.
Yeah, why did stuff do that? Can't say I agree with that. I would have, if nothing else, just applied to refresh the item slot.
Yeah, and also to
Possibly go back.
continue to menace Dracula, so make sure he leaves. You don't want him to just linger around here forever because
Alright, so oh,
it's a vampire.
interesting. And yet, the thing is, I suspect strongly that he's like at Salonica on a hide card. Can you really afford to go to Valona when Seward could sense an emergency down there?
True. Yeah.
He may end up going to sea anyway.
Or he could be in like 59 right now.
Possible. Well, no, that's not possible. As before that,
Or like 58, maybe. Yeah, no.
No, I
forget something.
What you're forgetting is that Goldon was on Sarajevo before
Right.
before he moved to Sofia, so we know that
That's
he wasn't there.
Okay.
Oh, yep,
Yeah, I missed that
there
part,
he is.
In Valona, after all.
Oh, but it's a fog. Up does well, that always pops.
Oh, you gotta forewarn this, right? I mean, you have to, so that
okay. The fact that
it's taking
so long says that he does have it.
I mean, or he's bluffing to make him think that. But still, yeah, you gotta forewarn this, or Dracula's just gonna move to Athens, right? Or did he already go to Athens? No, he was hiding in Salonica, like you said. That was right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he didn't misdirect 55, he misdirected 50.
Yeah,
right.
and Seward
so he was hiding in Salonica. You got that right.
With 4. Okay, Seward can't reach there.
Forewarned. Yeah.
Doesn't get sense of emergency to reach there, so it'll be a. But there could be there could be an escape route. There could be a. Since he couldn't reach there, I think I would have actually had him stay in the west. But I suppose Snuff's movements makes a little bit of sense. He wants me and Seward to trade. Is what's happening.
And he can psychic scan tonight if Dracula moves.
Yeah, if he chooses to stay on land.
But yeah, I think you want a situation where if Dracula does move to 3, you can go kill him there now if he goes to Athens. Whereas, like, if the fog had gone off, he can then go to Athens unimpeded, right? Nobody can contest it because they'd have to go through 55.
Trading to Goldaming. Heroic Leap.
Although there is one out to that, and that's excellent weather from Salonica to Athens. But that's pretty niche.
Yeah.
Traded to her. Was she going to go sense of emergency? No, she's going to supply.
That was actually Van Helsing trading to Goldaming.
Action is coming.
Alright. Planned ambush.
Oh, action is coming.
Let's see what happens here. It's 1v1, which Dracula likes, but planned ambush, well, Dracula doesn't like that.
That he does not. Oh, Scott's pointing out now. post-update, you can chartered carriage and then excellent weather on the same turn if renewed vigor's in play.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. That, I mean, depending on where exactly you went to and from, you could really be covering some ground with that. Plotting, that makes sense. When you see the planned ambush, Dracula will often just
Does he have a
plot.
Unfortunately, we know that he doesn't have a pistol because all 4 are in the discard. So,
That's unfortunate.
Will he allow the plotting? Will he allow it and simply go for damage? There's no holy circles.
Dangerous. I think it really depends on what all other cards he has, right?
Yeah.
Because if you have a gun with holy bullets right now, you probably just go ahead and shoot him with the rifle and let him have
Well,
it.
he doesn't. We know that.
Oh, right.
And
okay, maybe he's got a crucifix, and he couldn't punish the plotting with that, so he punched him.
Okay, yeah, definitely well played by Geo there.
Yeah. When you see planned ambush, it's a good idea to plot because
so long as you have enough
because
health.
of the reason we just saw. Yeah, the only way that can stop you is with a punch, unless they happen to have a pistol. So at least you can get your plotting off.
Yeah, when you have
strength.
Heavenly Host. Okay.
Say it with me, ladies and gentlemen. Your war with God is over. You must pay for your crimes. Get him. Yep. Most powerful card in the game. A blessed cracker.
No. I doubt that. I
sacred piece of bread.
I doubt that Goldong has a gun. I think he has a knife and that's it. Oh.
He saw strength. He was hoping, maybe he's gonna escape as a bat. And if he mesmerizes, I could still dodge.
The thing is, escape as bat is actually not all that attractive to Drac, because we've got 3 hunters in the eastern regions. If you escape as a bat, sure you might be able to escape from into the Ionian Sea and get further west that way by staying at sea a little bit longer. But
I don't think you would want to though. Yeah. All right.
So
got a nice back and forth here. Dracula getting hit by the holy host, but taking Godalming's knife. But he's used both his strengths, so here comes the fangs into the escape. Ah, shucks.
Well, I actually
could be worse, I guess.
Yeah, I'm actually a bit surprised that wasn't Claws or Mesmerize. I mean, I suppose he likely didn't have a Mesmerize if he didn't use it.
Well, does Godalming has he been using a horse?
Yeah. That's his only
so he's got a horse and a heavenly host, so we don't know what the third thing was.
The third thing was a knife, which got busted.
Which he just lost. Okay, duh. Yeah. It's unfortunate, because now Drac can
I would say that
health right back.
Yeah, I would say that went more in Drac's favor than anything.
Well, yeah, it's the classic conundrum of things.
Yeah. Wax cylinders.
I don't know if I'd have showed that. Because, maybe he didn't deduce what we deduced. Or rather, I should say what you deduced. But yeah, he went to 46 and hid. That's almost concrete information at that point, if not totally known. But yeah, maybe he's slow on the uptake like me. Maybe he just wanted the peace of mind to know for sure.
So
maybe you're just pretty good at figuring out where Dracula went.
Yeah. Thank you for the compliment.
Scott Sword is really chuffed right now. We got the whole Geo crowd is just really gassed. Is he gonna feed? Or is he gonna move to Athens and then he could put down a fog or whatever else and then feed there? Pretty tough to say no to that. I mean, Godalming doesn't have anything to hit you with. He literally he could try to gallop over you with his horse, and that would be about all he could do. Unless somebody can get him a lucky find, you know. Oh, he's going to do it right here and now. A little bit more danger to this.
Oh.
But, I mean, he's also trying to beat up Godalming. Well, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
But you're not going to be able to suck any more blood out of him. So that's a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, Sister Agatha, if they have a surprising return.
But, I mean, he's also at full health.
Is he at full?
Yeah, he's at 15 now. So,
yeah.
I mean, you could beat up Godalming. You have something to gain from this darn fight. But you're not going to be able to, like, suck his blood, really. Or claw him to death really quickly.
Thinking about something. If there's a renewed vigor, you do it.
That's probably what he's cooking up there.
Yep.
There it
Gio
is. Yeah.
may well pay hard for choosing to do it now.
Well, let's find out if it's a miscalculation. Yeah.
Whoa.
Heroically, Lord Godalming's no threat, I thought. I thought Lord Godalming is no threat at all. Now he's heroically Dracula.
Yeah, he has to beeline out
and
there.
now he can move to Athens.
Yeah, he's done his part.
Yeah, go to Athens and supply. You walloped him good. I mean, that heavenly host was for 4, and then Dracula sucked his blood for 2. Right, so that was only net 2 damage, and then with this heroic leap, that's 5. Plus 2 makes 7. And then the feed took 3 off of that. Interesting.
So now Suri gets to ride in and challenge him. And
yeah.
If Mina has a sense of emergency or has her own horse, which I suspect Suri was carrying around too with the way he had them meet up.
Seward's in fine nick and has been standing there supplying this whole time.
Yeah, and he has a treasure trove of events.
Could this be curtains for Dracula?
It's not impossible.
We'll see. We'll see what Mina Harker does here, because a one-on-one, I mean, it could go either way, right?
Yeah.
It could totally go either way. It's not a sure thing for Dracula, but he might just get out of there with no damage either, or anywhere in between.
Yeah, Van Helsing just supplied.
But a 2-on-1 with Seward involved.
I would say that it's time to move Van Helsing off the island and get to the mainland.
No, you never move Van Helsing off of England ever. Don't you know the Snuffalufagus school of hunter play? You keep him there and supply.
Well, since you have an extra action now, I would say that it's time to do it.
Well, think about it this way. What if Dracula goes to England? Alright, there he goes. There he goes.
If he goes to England, you'll have plenty of time to react. Yep.
No, what if he goes to England? I mean, you gotta have somebody there.
And it appears that I was correct, that Sura was carrying around 2 horses, and the trade that he had with Mina, he was giving her a horse. So now it's a 2-on-1, and no encounters.
Horse trade. And now he's reaping the benefits of the old horse trade.
Yeah,
and hard work behind the scenes.
Yeah, and who knows how much this... Okay, no combat events.
Who knows what else he traded her, right?
Yeah, so...
They're both loaded, but no combat events, yeah.
We know that Mina has a rifle. Doubtless she has a knife as well. Seward is likely holding on to a Heavenly Host, the 3rd knife, and the and a rifle for his arsenal. Knowing from the discard that there's no pistols, seeing as Van Helsing only just refreshed the deck.
He can get away in round 3.
Yes.
It's not that bad, but 10 health. That heroic leap was what did it. I mean, if he had 15 health right now, it'd be a different story, right?
Yeah.
Like, sure, maybe he's gonna get beat up, but he'll probably escape with care. But 10, it's very much in question. No, it's gonna be a knife. Oh no, it's a heavenly host.
Ow.
Too risky.
Yeah, I don't know
Here's
about.
the great strength.
Oh, so there is great
Don't
strength.
play it.
No, don't play it.
Let him get bitten.
Ow.
Oh no.
If only there was a surprising return to. If only was there a surprising return to fetch Aggie, he would have. Now Drax healed, and now it's a 1v1 with Mina. Goodness.
Yeah, it was feeding time. That was the time to feed Dracula a knife or a garlic. Like, and if you don't have that, then you need to get a garlic wreath and play that. So, because the more I see, the more I'm convinced. Like, he knows that you want to throw Heavenly Host at him. Oh no, this is terrible. She's mesmerized now.
Yeah, she does.
If Dracula's only how many times have you been in a situation as Dracula where like Fangs is your only path to victory, right? Or at least that it seems that way. Where you're just like, my only chance is to take one of them out with Fangs before the second round starts. I mean, you've been there. I've been there. We've all been there. Or either that or your health is really low, but there's still a way out if you can just pull off Fangs on somebody. You got to stick something else in his face when he goes with Fangs.
Yeah.
And then if he strengths it, that sucks, but then you can still play the Heavenly Host, right? You still have that.
Good call.
And if he fangs you then it's just well played.
Yeah, good call on that punch, by the way. Because he guessed that he was going to strength to try to bust. I mean, Drac knows that Mina has a rifle to block his escape.
Right.
So, dodge to play around a bite. I mean, he
dodges down.
Well, keep in mind that there is great strength. We now know that.
That could save her here.
Yeah, that will keep her alive from a bite.
But this whole combat so far, all it's done is given Dracula a drop of blood. Come on, we gotta hurt him.
Yes.
Nice, because you have great strength to back up the rifle there. That's bold and a good call, right?
Yeah.
You've already seen strength, one of them, and both the mesmerizes. So unless he has the other strength, you're safe there. Great strength can save you.
Or a Fang. Well, yeah, Fangs is not.
And now here's the claw. That makes sense, and he dodges it.
Yep,
Nice.
prevents him doing any harm to him in the last round. So,
okay,
that was.
We'll call it a draw.
Yeah, I agree. I would say minor lean towards Drac due to the fact that he destroyed the Heavenly Host and got in a bite on Seward.
Yeah.
So minor.
And he got renewed vigor.
Yeah.
So I mean that's definitely a win for Dracula, that fight. But like at the end of it, Snuff was able to stabilize a little bit and take something
the game
away.
is.
Mina didn't get defeated. Dracula didn't escape as a bat.
Yeah, the game is far from over.
Exactly. Yeah. There's a lot of game left to be played.
There is definitely potential for him to be taken very low. Even killed.
Yeah, like an absolute win for Drac. I agree, Scott. Like he won that battle for sure. But it's funny that it could have been catastrophic for either side. Like Dracula could have gotten demolished in that fight, or the hunters could have been really messed up, and they were able to kind of stabilize.
Okay,
Yeah,
dunked into
Seward's
the
bitten, but so
dunked into
what?
the Adriatic.
Mm-hmm. Go
Okay,
deal with Salonica, you clear that up, and then
I
it's
might
just
actually just let
chase
that
him down and
go.
supply. But we haven't seen the other hoax.
Yeah, I suppose. And he saw fit to hide there.
Or even another desecrated soil, you know? Would be unfortunate.
Well, do you have the Heavenly Host to deal with it at this point?
Not Dr. Seward.
I mean, there's only
Dracula,
one left
Dracula
in
ate
play.
his.
There's only one left in play. Huh. I mean, I suppose he's down an item, but I suppose you send Mina into Adriatic. Have her be the one to get going immediately. Or, no, have her go to Salonica. Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, she's in good shape. Maybe she can check it out. She gets ambushed by a Reckless, then, I mean, that might be worst case scenario, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she could do that. Yeah, yeah, they're super committed to the East here.
Saboteur.
Since it's it's possible that feed was a bait, right? Like it was a challenge. It was him saying, "Come and get me, bring it on." And if I can get out of this fight alive, then I'm home free because I'll have drawn them
Oh!
in.
Doggies. Woof woof woof.
Doggy boys takes care of the saboteur.
Neato. That means that
Nice
they can deal with
job.
Salonica one day earlier.
Heck yeah.
I
Get her
mean,
back in the chase.
yeah.
So well played saboteur and also a nice dog.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's gonna and the good news is that the people in the east all have horses, so
Yes.
they can.
Assuming the ticket economy is as good as it looks, and there's no chinks in the armor, they got plenty of time to get into position to challenge him.
Yeah, and we haven't even entered week 3, so we've got plenty of time. And with Salonica being the only encounter left on the trail, I. Well,
It's actually really well played to Dracula because that I think a big part of the Dracula gameplay, if you want to win, is baiting the hunter opponent into a situation or a decision that's sort of suboptimal, right? Like he got him in a 2-on-1 fight, sure, but you know what would have been better than that? A 3-on-1 fight. But that wasn't possible because Godalming was just so beat up, right?
yeah.
So like you take a look at the board and the game state and you're Dracula and you say to yourself, if I just stand here and feed right now, I could get renewed vigored on and it might actually be for the best, right? Because I can get that out of the way and get away. I'm not saying you can see the future, but you have to like get into a fight at some point, right? You might as well do it when Lord Godalming's at 1 HP and has no items.
Yeah.
Then you get renewed vigor out of the way for later. Otherwise, they're just going to use it as soon as you land. Yeah, you got to bait the fight sometimes. Is she gonna check it out at night?
Oh.
Oh no, not good. After all that, what if she were to die right here? That'd be dreadful.
Well, there's still a great strength around that didn't get used up.
That's
So.
true.
So she just needs to peace out. I would say quite possibly just let this. I mean, if Goldaming has found a stake already, If Gul'daman found a steak, send him to steak it.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
If
If
not,
not,
then just
maybe
let it
just
go.
right. Agreed.
It'll be the same effect as if he got a rumor token off.
Yeah,
On
he'll be
the
a 7,
on the
which
other
is
one.
like acceptable given the entire board state,
Yeah.
right? 7 with the entire trail cleared. I mean, the only bad thing is he'd get his feedback and his hide, which means it's time for him to go to Cagliari.
From
That would kind of
Adriatic?
suck.
Uh,
Oh, right,
in
he's
the
in the Adriatic.
from
I mean,
Adriatic, I don't think
no,
so.
no, not from Adriatic.
Oh,
Yeah,
Nino.
nice escape.
Yeah.
But he could wolf to 25, right? And I'm trying to think how he could time it, right? Okay, so the trail's gonna slide right now, and he could wolf to 25. There you go. And then tomorrow he can mature that vampire, get feedback and hide, and then do whatever he wants after that. He could go to the Tyrrhenian, he could feed right on the spot.
I honestly think that he's just gonna wolf ashore immediately and stay ashore for a while. I
Oh,
hope.
agreed. I mean, he has options as to where he lands, but my point is, once this vampire matures, he's gonna get an extra feed.
Yeah. If it matures, of course.
Yeah, so it might be worth that, even though it's only a 3-pointer.
Yeah, and with it being a new vampire, they can team up. Uh,
But Seward and Godalming, they spent what, 1 day supplying in Athens? Maybe 2 for Godalming. Godalming's at
yeah.
4 health. They're so exhausted. They've like pushed themselves to their limits. This should be interesting to see what happens. Like if they would go for like a 2 or a 3-on-1 fight, that'd be really cool. And then you have Van Helsing finish off Dracula in a 1v1 for game. I love that. That's happened before, where like Van Helsing doesn't get into the action for such a long time because he starts in England. Then all this stuff happens, all this action happens. Dracula gets away, and then here comes Van Helsing out of nowhere, like to close the net in, so to speak, from the other side. Yeah, Van Helsing could take a chartered carriage to Genoa. Dracula could be right there. That's where I'd go if I was Dracula.
Oh, Gul'daman's moving.
The other option would be maybe to go to Munich and then start trying to lose them in the Central Europe maze.
Oh, well. It appears that the plan is to gang up on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Making sure that Seward can get there too.
He wants a piece of the action too. There's the big yellow 2. Come on, boys.
Yeah, his ticket economy seems to be pretty strong.
Time to bash some monsters with the power of friendship.
Oh, I wouldn't have ambushed.
Probably wouldn't have, yeah. Now they can become undelayed at night, and tomorrow it's off to the races.
I mean, admittedly, Mina could have searched it on her action, so it doesn't matter all that much. So the vampire's goal will likely be to kill Gul'daman, but the thing is, he now doesn't have a clue as to what Gul'daman has. He drew it out of the fresh item deck.
This is so great. I love this. They're all like beat up and wounded and dealing with less than ideal supplies.
I mean, for all Gio knows, Gul'daman could be holding on to 2 dogs.
Yeah, who knows? And they're all like ready to fight it. Cue the Ghostbusters theme. Seriously. Heat them up, boys and girls. Let's get them. This is when the game really shines as a multiplayer game, in my opinion.
Crucifix.
That won't aid you here, my friend.
We gotta keep in mind that there is great strength. So.
No, taste cold steel. And oh yeah, a hot lead.
Yeah, so now Gul'dan dodges and they put up another assault. But the problem is, the most me can do is punch. So the vampire, or fangs, unless Seward has picked up another knife, which no, he hasn't. The vampire will actually survive this next round.
I mean, you could literally have all three of them dodge and then kill it in the third round.
Okay. Or no, I'm mistaken.
Vampires spreading around the love.
Which is actually good for the hunters, because since they're all with Seward, they'll be. I mean, they're gonna be. Some of them are gonna be delayed by night, yes, but. And there it goes. Dead vampire.
That's a knockout. That's a knockout. Stop the fight. Punch her out right on the jaw.
And the thing is, Mina gets undelayed by day.
Lord Godalming's holding up his crucifix. Seward's shooting it with a gun and stabbing it with a knife. Mina just walks right up to him, punches it in the face. Turns back to the other two like, oh, well, that wasn't so hard. Why did neither of you guys think of that?
Yeah, now two of the three get to rest up, and now they simply get to horse out of the east, healing as they go. It's much like, this reminds me very of back in the Fall League with me versus JD Philly, how I gave them the slip with two of them absolutely battered, but they just went horsing out of the east. And had the option to go with Seward, but didn't. Now they all just go west. And the thing is, Harker is still in play, so if worse comes to worse, that will show where Geo chose to go.
I won't lie though, I would have liked a psychic bond there, because that would have eliminated 50. We would know that Dracula didn't actually just wolf form from the Adriatic Sea to Sofia. But that's a minor thing, you know. He probably didn't do that. And maybe he'll check there anyway. But it sure would be awkward if you hauled everybody. It sure would be awkward if you took all your hunters straight to the west and Dracula was heading for 10 all over again. You know, 10, 17, 56.
The good news is that if he does go to 10, it's a revealed lair. So it'll be a bit obvious when it happens.
Mm-hmm. He could have wolfed to 49 and now he's heading to 59. Be pretty nuts, but you know, it's also possible. All three of them use their fast horses and they get to 49, and then when the last one gets there, you fog them.
or actually even worse, wolves.
Yeah.
Or when Gul'dan walks on, put up bodyguards.
Yeah. This when you gotta be careful about a night supply too, because if you were to night supply and then he pulls out like Great Wolf, right, and then he pounces you for 4 damage, so he dies.
At least Gul'dan gets to continue the quick healing, which honestly, well, at least we now know that
he didn't go there.
Yeah. No funny business.
Right. No funny business, exactly.
No funny.
None of that. No
business. There, Mina. She's in reasonable shape, so if she rolls a 2, don't tag along with them.
Yeah, I could head to 49.
Yeah, get her to a big city as quick as get all of them to a big city as quickly as possible because they're all of them are down at least one item.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Race for Munich.
yeah,
Now that you know Dracula did not go to 49 or 50 or 46 or 3, he didn't do anything like that.
yeah.
He went somewhere
He
else.
has
So,
he genuinely has left the east.
yeah, it's time
Uh,
for a
uh
mad dash to Munich.
yeah. And they still have a full week before Sheer Dracula points kicks in, and Dracula will have to move 3 spaces, uh, under current circumstances.
Since they're moving so much, they're not going to be able to supply, Scott starts pointing out.
Yes.
They're going to be a bit behind there. 40 cards left in the event deck. So that's a pretty respectable number. It's a pretty darn respectable number, but it ain't that low.
Yeah, Seward,
We have
since he's full health, while he's tagging along with Goldaming, he'll be able to wax cylinders to see if Geo reuses that hide. And if he does, it's definitely a good deterrent because I would definitely be tempted in such a strong position, at least temporarily strong position, to do a hide, especially if I wolfed to Genoa and then went to Marseille. A hide at Marseille, possibly bring Van Helsing down onto 2 encounters. That's definitely something worth considering. Rumor token, okay.
I mean, or with the time that he probably knew he had, you could have even just wolfed to 37 and then moved to 36 or 25.
Yeah, that too.
Because, I mean, he probably figured he was going to have a day before the only other way was for Van Helsing to take a chartered carriage straight to either 37 or 25.
I mean, for 37, a normal ticket could do it.
Well, at the time when Dracula Wolf formed, Van Helsing was still in Le Havre.
Oh, right.
So he wouldn't have been able to get
I stand corrected.
Yeah, on that precise day. So Dracula might have thought to himself, I can go to 25 tomorrow.
Yeah, Van Helsing is fresh, so I wouldn't. So I would, just poke around.
he's just asking the neighbors, doing interviews. Have you seen this man? Yeah, he's just
one thing I might consider is what if Gul'dan were to give all this stuff to Seward, and then
then you do a blood transfusion the same night on Seward. Did I just blow your mind?
That was not what I was thinking of. No.
Okay. Well, I mean, he'd be in better shape, right?
Yeah, but basically, what if you simply fully arm Seward? That way you have 2 ready and active.
Get him more supply. And then Godalming can,
He
still has a horse, so he could still poke around and try to get in a relevant position and supply from there.
Yeah,
he's not out of the chase yet.
I suspect that'll be they'll horse to Milan. The fact that he didn't wolf run to Munich means that unless he went to Zurich, northern Germany is off the table.
Yeah, unless he went 3760, right? I mean, who knows what he could have. Done so many things. He could have wolfed to Florence, even though that'd be really risky.
Updated his
and then now he's heading down Italy, or he could have wolfed to Naples or to Rome, and now he's heading north.
Yeah. This game still hangs in the balance. So Mina's at her resupply station, ready to get her new weapon. hopefully a weapon.
I think the trickiest thing there for Dracula was what was Van Helsing going to do? That was the important part
Yeah, Van
because
Helsing
you
is
knew the
just
other three were just going to move, right? They're not going to draw hired scouts or something because they're going to move. But if Van Helsing decides to stand still and supply, or if he decides to move on to you, then that could have revealed the plan. But right now, the plan is still secure. The plan is not compromised.
alright. Gladaming now at 6 HP.
Oh no, a chink in the armor.
Oh goodness.
That's not what we needed right now.
Well, now that he's at 6, he doesn't really need to fast heal anymore, even though it's nice. Yeah, I'd go to Milan. That was the wolf form location.
Yeah.
Alright, so, oh. Reckless. Well, let's see what happens.
Yeah, not the situation you want to be in. This point, if he gets a point here, I don't think it's going to be the most relevant point in the world, but
No, he's
you don't want to get him any closer.
The influence is actually at the exact break point. He needs 9 influence and therefore precisely 3 batches of Fury of Dracula points. So therefore, giving him a point here is not the worst thing. But neither is it all that good. Neither is it good.
No, it's not good because, if you play your vampire lair later in the game, then that point might make a difference.
I mean, Sword might well try to kill because he does have 2 weapons. Oh, call the plotting.
Punch it to death.
So
yeah.
now,
I mean, it was a pretty well incentivized to plot there.
Yeah, I think that I would do knife next as Seward because he's either gonna mesmerize or fang, right? So, bingo!
Hey,
Called it.
Babe.
Oh, but he's mesmerized already, so it doesn't quite kill. Oh, Geo thought that was going to kill too.
But now
he
you
said,
can
well,
punch
play
him.
combat. Yeah. I would do... Actually, this is when I would dodge. Because Because the vampire may well fang again. Claw when he has a rifle? Okay, that was definitely a risky one. I'm guessing he's getting to the point where his hand is stuck with escapes. For that to have been the case.
When you want to escape?
I mean, as the vampire, yeah. Definitely do. I mean, especially since we're talking about sewer deer. Yeah, if Stewart had played his rifle that he revealed earlier, that would have been dead vamp.
Yeah, he's probably worried about a second fangs.
Yeah.
Because then he would have lived from that. But yeah.
Yeah. But the trails. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, keep that vampire alive. It's got a rumor token on it. And now here come all the fighting vamps. Yeah, it was nothing but a little bit of Count Trashula at the beginning, putting down the crappy ones. Now he's saved up the real stuff for the West. For the mad dash into the West and the last gasp. Yeah, fan of that myself, saving up the real ones for the end of the line.
Yeah, for me, each hand plays differently.
True.
Sometimes I build a gauntlet of vampires. Sometimes I try to go hoax bodyguards. I always try to mix my what I do for trail up a little. It all depends on the hand.
Truly.
So Van Helsing could actually still have a stake because there were never 4 stakes in the discard. So I actually think that this one is going to get staked.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if like rumor tokens, I think I don't want to say they're overrated, but I think they're using them to bluff is slightly underrated. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Because 3 points here and 4 points there is, or even 8, is just as good as 7. And when you put the rumor token on it and you're too honest about it all the time, you're just telegraphing where all the vampires are.
Yeah.
And they go there much more prepared to deal with it, both equipment wise, event wise, and also in a timely manner. Whereas if it doesn't have a rumor token on it, they might not be prepared for that, and all of a sudden vampires are maturing.
A fun thing I like to do is I like to, on occasion, rumor my bats. That's definitely a very fun one to do. Have them charge in, search it at night with a stake, and suddenly, whoops, wrong thing.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of room for player expression and skill expression there too. Like you can rumor a hoax, for example, and now it gobbles up their stake. And sure, you lose the hoax and they're not delayed, but now they're down a stake and the real vampire's still there somewhere. You can rumor a location that has a hide card and put down damaging encounters to beat up the hunter severely, and then they get to the real vampire and you can maybe finish them off.
Yep, stake.
Nice stake.
Yeah, new vampire. So let me see. That's both the new vampires. One reckless killed, one on the trail. Possibly or one reckless behind the veiled. Possibly another white, maybe.
And 2 aristocrats. So if we kill this 137,
there's one reckless left.
There's one more reckless and one more aristocratic out there.
Yeah. So he went to either Zurich or Genoa. I'd presume Genoa if you're gonna make a stop in between. But then again, Zurich bluffs that you're going north. If they discover that first.
Yeah, if you go to 60, you're threatening like you might have gone to Nuremberg.
Nuremberg, Strasbourg.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, 60 is a pretty good move for that. But you have to take a little bit of extra time, and you're away from the sea.
Yeah, but he had time.
This is true. Van Helsing did check 24, but he did not manage his way to 60.
Yeah, which is why now that Goldung was applied, so long as he has adequate stuff, I would send him to 60. Just get that out of the way, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, then you'll know.
Yeah.
And if you find out he did go to 60, then...
It's possible also that you might want to, once you deal with the Milan vampire, what if you just start disregarding the trail and just tearing off after him? Oh, he claims that the last reckless is at the next location.
Or aristocratic.
I seriously doubt he'd remember an aristocratic at this point, with Van Helsing being right next to it, wherever it is.
Still, it buys him time. Because, I mean... It says to the hunters, go deal with this. Don't pounce on me. If they spend any more time dealing with these encounters, their time might run out. It's already Thursday.
Yeah.
Their time could run out here if you're not careful. Every move is really important now.
Yeah.
Wyoming's gonna supply. Maybe he's digging because he still needs the CG. Or
Oh?
maybe he's just hoping for something to locate Dracula.
What's this waiting for? About a newspaper, perhaps?
We'll never know.
Uh, the newspaper prompt does still come up, so I think that's really the only thing that would cause that now. So I think that was a newspaper. Oh.
Van Helsing's going to Milan. This is interesting.
I can't say I like that.
Every move is so precious right now, but the vampire has to be dealt with, right?
Yes, but why not send Mina as backup instead? Have Van Helsing advance.
True. This is shaky. I feel him slipping away.
The thing is, Van Helsing almost certainly has a knife.
Yeah, if this guy has all his defensive cards, it's going to be tough to get any damage through. Surely it'll strength or play fangs, right? Or if it doesn't have either of those, it'll mesmerize.
It'll almost...
Yeah,
I might have opened with punch, because mesmerize is almost always going to be the first thing to stop you escaping.
Yeah, but if he fangs you, you'd feel like such a fool, right? Because now it gets an extra health.
And a point.
And Van Helsing would be down to 4 health, and it gets a point. Yeah. I think I'm okay with knife there, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Okay, and then he dodges the fangs.
Yeah, makes sense.
But by now, it's scary, because by now, surely he's seen a strength, right? Strength is coming. But you don't know that for sure.
Probability says that. But... Mesmerize and punch.
And punch.
Dead vampire.
He mustered his old man courage.
And actually, one thing that is nice is that Van Helsing is the one that's damaged. Mina's not. Now he gets to heal with Seward. Take both at once. Yeah.
Van Helsing, so you young whippersnappers, I'll give you a sock right on the jaw.
So,
knock your top hat right off your head.
I would say Mina would... I would move Mina to Zurich. I know that's something of a slow move, but you have... Because Milan is connected to Zurich, for... In case that is not clear to people watching. You
have to check Zurich and hope that you... I mean, is it better to find that he went to Zurich, or
I would
you
say
be
yes.
more pleased to see that he didn't? She's gonna supply.
I mean, she was down. Local
rumors.
Oh, nice.
That's actually huge.
Okay.
So now we know.
We know that he either... Well, the thing is, he could still be going down to the boot.
Right, sure. I mean, he could have gone east or west, or maybe even to 24. I forget exactly the order of events where Van Helsing went and checked 24. But I think Dracula was in 36 at the time. But I think what's more likely is we're looking at like 54 or 15.
Yeah, he had moved out of Marseille by the time Van Helsing went there, and he went there from Geneva. So no 24 next. I mean, if he's being real daring, he could be there now. But
he could have gone down the boot into Italy. It's true, but why risk that and Florence?
Yeah.
When you can just go into Spain, right?
Yeah, I agree, but
he probably just took the safe route straight into Spain, where he can now kick around there for as long as seems safe, and then go to sea to end the game.
Yeah. I think that perhaps he may have found CG. Perhaps that's what all the supplying is about. He's trying to get all the... Wait, except that he discarded a Heavenly Host. So no, that's... kind of invalidates that theory.
Well, you know, sometimes you discard a heavenly host. Sometimes it happens.
Hmm.
Maybe he had a reason.
Yeah, I can't
At least
say
the
I
at
like
least the
those.
Reckless is dead. You know, Van Helsing went and
Yeah,
punched it to death.
it's the good news is that Drac is still at only 4 influence,
Mm-hmm.
so
He's
it'll
probably gonna have himself. Sorry, go on.
he will have to like if they chase him out of Spain to sea, he's going to lose some health and he'll still have to make 3 land moves.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
that's
he's
not
probably
going to be easy.
gonna have himself a nice feed at some point, and he'll be up at 10 health. If you're able to deal with the second desecrated soil, assuming it's on the trail, he won't get any higher than that. But 13 would be kind of scary. But 10 is still manageable. 10, you could still play the second renewed vigor or a CG or something like that after he lands. There's options. There's still options depending on what his events are. Okay,
Toulouse.
Toulouse.
Yep, he
That
went.
makes sense. With
Okay, it was
bats.
a
Oh,
fate.
he rumored his bats.
Took a leaf out of my book, apparently. Then again, I suppose with how much I taught him during New Blood, I suppose he's taken plenty of leaves out of my books. And also,
I mean, it's one way to make sure they don't miss your bats.
yeah, and Van Helsing's move to Zurich reminds me of another good reason for Van Helsing to go to Milan rather than Mina. He doesn't have a horse, so he's the slow mover. Have him do cleanup.
Yeah.
So
he's the old man.
yes.
Let him play janitor, right?
Yeah, so actually that makes a certain amount of sense. Now that
Meanwhile, the horse people can get moving that way.
yeah, depending
So
on
you can horse and take a chartered carriage too, now can't you?
yeah, charred carriage qualifies as part of the move.
Right.
So
It's just an enhanced train.
and combined with sense of emergency, between the two,
book.
you can go anywhere in Spain.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, shoving away from Spain.
I knew it. Makes good sense to put that down.
Yeah. Does Van Helsing have a heavenly host? I think so. Or maybe? Not sure. I mean, he showed a knife, but he doesn't have a horse. So there is still something that we don't know of. And we only have...
Why is he waiting? Why wouldn't he just...
Geo is
waiting for Geo. Right.
Geo's just waiting to see what he discards.
Yeah, it's not waiting on Van
Oh. Apparently Snuffalufagus needs to attend to something. So it just said BRB. Discard 2 things. Interesting.
Only 2.
We do need to keep into account that that second fog, we know that is in his hand, or if not already on the trail. Like for instance, this could be a hide at Barcelona situation.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm not sure why he would do that. I personally would go Saragossa, Madrid, and penetrate so that they would have to guess at 4 separate harbors.
Right.
With the time he had.
It's a classic.
And such.
Yeah, that obfuscates your sea travel a little bit at that point. Hopefully save you from their last efforts.
Yeah. There's still... Yeah, and the thing, and Dracula knows that there's only one forewarned left, if there are any. Okay, he does not have a heavenly host to destroy it.
That's not good. I don't want to see him get a whole bunch of health back.
Goldaming may well have one. I mean, if someone was discarding a heavenly host, presumably they would have one. Mythios.
He's layering 36. Okay, yeah.
Makes sense.
What do you put there, though?
Not 36, 37.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Milan.
Yeah. Yeah, just continue cycling layers. Make sure you find the good stuff. Yeah, so now, with that desecrated soil will reshuffle the deck. So, he could be drawing vampires again now.
Yikes. That changes up the calculus, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think things are looking... and yet... There's still...
I mean...
There's still possibilities CG.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been in worse situations than this.
There's still renewed vigor, number 2.
Yeah, you can pull a rabbit out of the hat still. There's opportunities.
9, 10, 11, 12, all those on top. Goodness, there's still 14 Drac events in the deck, one of them on top.
Okay, with the misdirect, we know he didn't hide at 4.
Yeah.
But he may have gone to 48 and then went to 4, and then he misdirected 48, right? Or
possibly,
he could be
Bordeaux.
a knot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could be a knot. And
yeah.
now he's a 29. That's a good misdirect, dude. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I've got something to learn from this guy. That's a very stylish misdirect.
Okay, so Goldaming has the host, as I suspected.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, let me deal with that.
That's the equivalent of the...
Deny the healing.
That's the equivalent of knifing Dracula.
Yeah, I'll take it. 3 health denied is 3 less health we gotta churn through later.
So what do you do with Van Helsing? Oh, you know what? What about a scan?
Not to mention that misdirect also prevented day 3 newspaper, right? Like a cold newspaper right now. Couldn't play it immediately, which is a nice added bonus. But yeah, a scan.
Well, she's moving, so it turns out. So it looks like that won't be happening.
Yeah, scan would have told you at least if it was shenanigans with not and 29 or 42.
The thing is, that wouldn't be all that shenaniganery.
Well, it was enabled by the misdirect, kind of. So, I mean, not really. You're right. But a scan could have still been useful, potentially.
I would just go into Saragoth.
But yeah, it's very unfortunate that Godalming had to go backwards to do that. Yeah. Okay. Nice shadow trail. So it's just a bluff unless he went to 8 and he's hiding there, right?
Well, no, because that A would be the next spot, the spot that he misdirected.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I had that backwards. So
He
after
could
checking 39, that
he
tells you for sure
could
he
be
did.
hiding at Santander.
Right. He could have gone through Bordeaux, gone to Santander, and misdirected Bordeaux.
We do
Oh, yeah. Okay. I think that actually is what he did. I bet he did that.
we do still have quite a few events on the board. Goldong's holding 2. Seward has 2 unknown. Mina has 2 unknown. And Helsing's holding 1. We could still have plenty of movement events to.
But the problem is you got to find out where he is first.
A speed telegraph would be interesting. Then you could send Mina on horse to Santander first. Also, that could help with forewarned in the event of a fog. I mean, well, we know that there's, unless he chose to discard the fog, which why on earth? uh,
Yeah, I mean, even if you played Fog in Bordeaux, I mean, you wouldn't misdirect it. You just leave it there, let him find it, and get Fog.
yeah. Okay.
So, I mean, Dracula went to 47-31, or he went to 48 and then to Madrid or to 1,
I
most
think that
likely.
this is a good time to put to sea. Uh,
Nah, well, you feed first, I think. Although it is maybe a bit risky. But I think you want to feed now, because if you feed later, you're going to be giving up Fury of Dracula points for that, right? You don't get 3 points for playing feed.
yeah.
So I would feed now. Get up to 10 health.
Yeah.
Then it's Sunday, right? And on Sunday you can go to C. And then after that, you can maybe wolf form if you're trying to get the points right away, or go to C again if you need to. Like move an additional C zone. Yeah, there's the feed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta figure he's.
If
I mean, you gotta figure he's in 12 or 1, is what I would think. But it could have been 47-31.
um,
Is he doing the obvious thing, or is he doing this like slightly less obvious thing? Because there's no train to 12. And getting to 1 by train is just as easy as 31. I mean, if he played the Renewed Vigor, you could have moved Godalming, and then if you had Excellent Weather, you could Excellent Weather to 1.
it's quite possible that he's
It's
setting
impossible.
up to do just that with like a charred carriage leap. Uh,
Here's a supply from Van Helsing. Oh no, I don't think this is going to be enough. Dracula's going to go to C, and that's going to be game unless he can make like a Hail Mary save at the last minute, right? I mean, he still has to move a few
with how
times. It's
much
not like he has 10 points.
there's reasonable odds that he has money trail. So, money trail or hypnosis.
Mm-hmm.
So
And he hasn't like completely overcommitted his hunters to Spain or anything like that. Like,
yeah, I'd say
there's
that
still a possibility.
I'd say that there's still a chance. And keep in mind he has to survive it 3 days moving on land.
Yes, assuming no vampire trail or vampire lair. Vampire trail. I was thinking of money trail.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
but also
we've
vampire
invented
matures on the turn on the
we've invented 2 more cards. Vampire trail and money lair. Go into Dracula's money lair where he keeps all his money, and you rob him blind.
if I might use wax cylinders. As
He might have hid.
I might actually do it as deduction at this point. See if that next spot is even worth poking.
Yeah, but there's 2 of them, right? Like, what if you reveal it's a vampire? Like, now you got to go kill it, and then the next one's a vampire. Or what if it's not anything threatening, but the next one is?
Okay, doing a trade, mixing things up. I like it.
Shuffle around our items a little bit.
Now, if he does have the second renewed vigor, I mean, if Dracula stays on land, now's the time to use it. If not, well,
Yeah. If Dracula stays, might be your only chance, right? But if he leaves, you save it for hopefully getting in position to finish him off.
yeah. I mean, if he's sitting on a fog, or if he's still holding a fog, I mean, keep in mind he's gone through a lot of the second deck. He could well have a fog number 3 at this point.
Right. That goes back into what I said earlier about like baiting the fight, right? Because if he were to hide right now and play fog, and the hunters pop renewed vigor and moved on to him, and he got the fog off successfully, right? No forewarned. That's pretty much good game, like barring consecrated ground, right? Because that's like killing their renewed vigor, and then they've overcommitted by then too to Iberia.
Yeah.
So you can potentially bait them into pulling the trigger, and they might walk away with nothing for it, and then you're off to sea. Risky. It's all about risk versus reward. I would say like you don't do that here. I would probably do the safer thing and just go straight to sea at this point.
Yeah,
But it is an option.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Is that a hide?
That's a lair.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That's the lair. Excuse me. He hasn't moved yet.
What does Geo do? Well, if he goes to sea, the first thing to do will be he to send Seward to check Alicante, so that you know. Oh, he stayed on. He stayed on land.
This is crazy because now, if he does go to sea, right, he's going to be going.
Does he
to
have the
sea
renewed vigor
with all 3 of the despair tokens on the board? Right, he would rather be moving by land by now.
I mean, he obviously has something or another here.
Yeah, we've got the Dawn Actions prompt here, but nothing going.
Okay.
Maybe you can do it without the renewed vigor.
Okay.
Here's a nice little 2.
So it's going to be at most a 2-on-1. Shame there's no speed telegraph. That could definitely be useful in terms of forewarned, if they have it.
Yeah, this is. Let's see what happens here. Some bold play from Dracula. Is he in 12? He is hiding in 12.
Does
fog time?
Is it fog time, or will he wait for Mina? Which one of them is holding the forewarned? Because there's almost certainly a fog here. There could actually be 2, in truth.
Here's the fog. Oh
and
no!
It goes. Oh.
He played doubles.
Well, since there is only going to be 1 forewarned, it's good that he's revealed that that's the case now. Now Mina can get into a position because since he's used, unless he chooses to dark call for whatever reason, Mina can now get into a position. Mina can now get into position to intercept when he goes by sea, potentially, at least.
But yeah, He did bait them into using. Well, no, they didn't use any renewed vigor. Let me correct that. But he at
Yeah.
least baited Seward into being irrelevant for the rest of the game. I mean, he'll have nothing to do at this point in the supply. If all those fog tokens there, it's like Dracula has an evil weather machine, like in Quincy Morris's video.
Okay, another bats. Knowing that that's intercepts her second action. Yeah, so Seward is. Oh, well, yeah.
No, there's no second action. There's no renewed vigor.
Oh right. Well.
Right. We're only hypothesizing.
Okay, so it was Mina who had the forewarned.
She had it after all. That's such a shame.
Might as well.
I mean, she only ended up moving one space anyway, but you know, Dracula wasn't to know that. It's possible he might have held off.
Well, that was she only moved one space because of the thing, of the fog triggering. I'm pretty sure he could have got. He was guaranteed to be able to catch both with 141 having been used already.
That's right. That's right. He had nothing to worry about standing on two of them.
Yeah, but that's. However, that means that he still has to survive 3 on land with no fog. The hunters now know that's just out of the way.
Dracula's like Walter White over here. He's taking extreme measures to defend himself.
Yeah, so...
he does not want anything to do with these people. 4 fog tokens.
The trail is cleared.
He's going to see.
Yeah.
It's week 4.
So now they just money trail the second sea location, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And if it turns out to be North Atlantic, get someone to the UK immediately.
I mean, I hate to have to money trail the second sea location like that because he can always just keep going by sea and re-obfuscate, no matter which direction he goes, really.
Yes,
but yeah,
but less so.
It might be your only chance because
then you get to send all 3. Because then you get to send all 3 in the right direction for the appropriate.
It depends what you have. You have to form the strategy here, right? Is this the part where you put somebody on a chartered carriage and they just dart straight at Dracula and like excellent weather onto him and heroic leap him? Or is this the part where
heroic leap has already been used for one thing?
You're right. Okay. Or is this maybe the time when you instead need to reveal him with a hired scouts after he lands and consecrated ground him for the error, right? Like, you have to form the strategy here.
Yeah, this is... But Gio still needs 9 points, and with his trail completely cleared, the hunters have nothing to do but get in position.
Mm-hmm. They can get in position to like throw the Hail Mary pass and chase him down and finish him, and have other hunters continue to supply for the CG combo.
Yeah, Seward can just sit there and search. I mean, if he doesn't have money trail, supply with Gul'daming.
Interesting.
I
would probably.
Okay.
He doesn't. I mean, Dracula's in the South Atlantic. You don't know which direction he's going yet. So whichever direction you move Gul'daming could be the wrong direction. It makes some sense.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and supply. Then Dracula will move tomorrow. Maybe we can figure out which sea zone he's in then and move in the right direction.
Yeah, let's just. If you're rooting for the hunters, hope they have money trail.
But Mina should probably move, but again, which direction?
Bordeaux, I would say. You have Van Helsing.
Yeah, get ahead of the whole UK nonsense. I mean, that's the only way to beat him there. Is to get ahead of him.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. She can threaten to go to Ireland or something like that. Lairs in Marseille and Toulouse and Zurich.
Yeah. How many?
Hopefully we can avoid
1,
those.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 6. The 16th one is on top.
Basic research would be enormous here.
Yeah, that would be really nice. I agree. Wax cylinder. Seward may yet be of use because of wax cylinders. He can, when Dracula lands, he can.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Fancy.
I guess he heard you.
When the time comes, when Dracula lands, he can use that to see what it is.
True. Well, we know it won't be fog.
Yes, but for instance, like, is it a vampire?
Right.
How prepared do it? I suppose that doesn't matter all too much, but since at this point they have no choice but to try.
It is an action though. But yeah, maybe he could work.
Yeah,
that
but
in
he's kind of.
He's trapped anyway.
Yeah, he's and by the time he's free, he will likely be just far too far away to help. Van Helsing may want to fetch his events.
Right. Collect them all up.
Distribute them out. And that like in effect killed a horse.
Yeah. I mean, not to mention anything else Seward might have had on him. It's not going to be brought to bear against Dracula in the rest of the game. Knives or guns or what have you.
We actually don't know exactly what he has. He did trade with me in Santander the night before that happened.
But yeah, the horse is definitely big.
That smells money trail. Who has it?
Yeah. What's gonna happen here? He's got a plan for this telegraph, I hope.
Money trail.
Dr. Seward playing Money Trail.
Yep, he's Mediterranean.
He's in the Med.
Not going for UK. All right.
At least we know.
Yeah, but here's the real danger. What if he does a wolf form land and goes back into Spain?
It's always possible.
Wolf form for Med is always rather brutal.
It's a scary possibility, yes.
I mean, but with how much he has to land, scans could really help you a lot. This is where Psychic Bond could really come into play. So now, Goldania, I would say, moves to Marseille. Just joins Van Helsing there. Then Mina also just group at Marseille, I suppose, because that's the healthy in between of if he chooses to do that, or if he chooses to move on. Which honestly, wolf forming ashore might actually be Dracula's best bet at this point. Why did I suppose Snot sees the risk of him wolf forming back into Spain, so he's having Gul'daming stay there for a little. If he moves on again, Gul'dam will be on the move. Mina, however, I think should move to Marseille. Be ready to do a scan the moment he lands.
Yeah, you can eliminate 15 and 54 that way. Now he's going to ambush, though.
Yeah, that is a lair.
Oh, it's a vampire.
Okay. I suppose he had nothing but vampires in hand?
Well, when it comes to lairs, like, you don't always have the best card for the lair. And a vampire is just something you can ambush with and do some relevant damage, at least. It's better than, say...
Okay, looks as if he didn't get any mesmerizes. Because, yeah, that's... definitely not relevant damage.
Well, I mean, it's damage, right? It's not necessarily relevant, but you know, sometimes you're stuck with like a hoax in your hand or a saboteur. Saboteur is not really good to ambush with on a layer either.
Yeah.
Uh,
Although there has
or
been a
maybe
lot
you've
of desecrated
got
soil drawing, so he has had time to refine his hand. Uh, so would it be funny if Miner's or Van Helsing still has a stake? Well, no, they're all in the discard. But that would be a little funny. Yeah, so now Seward actually spent his events. He was the one who had the speed telegraph too. So
okay, as well as money trail. Got you.
but so Seward now can just advise his partners on what he's going to place down to protect himself. Fog. Both desecrated soils are in the discard. Well, no, one is in it either in hand or in the deck.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this: what if they added a 61st space to the trail, and it was Sicily right there? It was like a city in Sicily. So it'd basically be like having a second Cagliari on the board, if that makes any sense.
You'd have to move between that and CAG, I think, for that.
Well, it would be connected to the Tyranian and to the Ionian Sea. Just like how 13 is connected to the Med and to the Tyranian. You follow me?
Yeah.
That would be terrible. It would give Dracula another option. I think that would be brutal.
So what does Drac do here? The Money Trail reveals which direction he's going. So...
It's a tough call. I mean, do you wolf to 13 for a little laugh?
I'd say definitely not because CG is still
because you can't feed or hide.
Yeah.
If you could feed or hide, maybe, but you can't feed or hide, so
Yeah,
no wolf to 13. That would be like madness. Although you would go up to 7 points.
Yeah. I actually might land at CAG. I mean, it's possible that there's two excellent weathers on Mina and Van Helsing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's danger.
But that would lessen how much he needs.
I'll be right back.
Alright. Yeah. So what's your move, Gio? Wolfhorn. Or no. No, that's just going to the Turinian. Yeah, and there is Sister Agatha in play. So, now, gun your engines on your mechanical horses to the east. Yeah, avoid Marseille. Would that actually be a reason enough? Debatable. So I suppose now you send Van Helsing to Genoa. Try to take advantage of the rail line there. If it comes to going to Ionian.
I've returned.
So Dracula chose to move on to the Mediterranean without going to Kag.
Ooh. This is looking more and more interesting.
Yeah, although that vampire in Marseille apparently spooked Snuff enough that Sven Goldamon chose to go to Clermont-Ferrand instead.
Okay. He'll
And
sort of
still,
stay a day behind because of that.
yeah, one city behind. But then again, in the event of Adriatic, you don't want to rush too fast.
Yeah, that's an important point. Even having them nearby could deter him from making the decision to go to Adriatic, right? He knows you don't have money trail, so he won't fall into the trap of going to the Adriatic, getting money trailed, and then CG'd for an error.
Yeah, with only 26 cards in the event deck, chances of CG are pretty high at this point. Like 66% chance that they've drawn it by now.
Yeah, and no fog, says Scott Sword. I agree, Scott Sword. He put all of his eggs into one basket in Cadiz, with the feed and the hide, and putting both fogs down. Now he's all spent. He's
Yeah.
gassed. He used the feed. He can't stop and hide even.
I
He's
think
got no
that.
fogs to save himself. The only thing he still has is wolf form, and the fact that there's no Rufus Smith in play is something that he's got going for him.
Yeah, however, there is a Sister Agatha, so when they find him, he's gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, it could be time to put the hurt on him if they can catch up. And they're not really that far behind with him in the training.
So, in fact, I'm a bit surprised that why didn't me and Van Helsing move yesterday? He could have sent Van Helsing to Genoa and me out to Munich. Send one person to get ahead, get to the east. Yeah, I think he played a bit too slow there.
You may be right there. Perhaps he's still trying to get some ducks in a row. I.e., like,
yeah, Wolfram from Turin
tickets or hosts or CG itself.
Yeah, Turin is far. Wolfram from Turin is far less effective than from Med.
The only time it can be useful is when you wolf form to Bari, and then you can feed and hide there, and then go to the Adriatic, right? It's sort of like a poor man's Cagliari, right? You just feed and hide in 5, then go back to sea at the Adriatic, and then from there you can either land or go to the Ionian and land there, right? And the problem is you're down a wolf form, but that is a thing you can do.
Yeah, but since he hasn't sent people to get towards the east, he can now go Ionian. Yeah, I think that not moving there may well cost him the game. He's moved on to
Dracula's
the Ionian.
now in the Ionian. Yeah, he's way ahead of you. It's time to catch up. It's time to get.
It's time for you to start
moving.
It's time to start busting out chartered carriages, sense of emergencies. It's time for you to throw out everything.
Pull out the stops.
Yeah. I would actually have Seward's supply try to find, like, if he try to find Renewed Vigor CG if he doesn't have it already.
Castle time? Maybe a little bit of the old castle is called for here because, I mean, it's kind of underrated, but if you're in the Ionian right now and you move one more sea zone, right, you're still technically obfuscating your position, right? You could be in the Adriatic or the Black Sea. Then you wolf to Bucharest, and you're safe from CG because they can't CG 22 or 28. So you wolf to Bucharest, and then it's castle time for the win. Matter of fact, I think I would do that myself. if I was in Dracula's shoes, because
I
you
think
can't get
that's too
CG'd there.
I think that too risky, as they could barricade the Black Sea to play around that by it. Like if you move again.
Yeah, I mean, you could just as easily wolf to 50, and then you could still do the same thing, just a little bit slower, right? Move to Belgrade or to Bucharest, and then go to 22 or 28, go to Klausenberg Glatz.
Yeah, it means that you won't get the castle before you win.
Right,
But
and you also won't uh, be quite as safe from consecrated ground. But you never know, there could still be vampire lair kicking around. Probably not. Like, most people use it as soon as they have like a reasonably good opportunity to use it. But I
yeah,
think it'd be, and I've never been able to pull this off myself per se, but I think it'd be really cool to see somebody use it in order to throw off Dracula's calculations at a really inopportune moment for him, right? All of a sudden, instead of winning, he has to move again, and he didn't factor that in, and now he loses because of it, right? I think that's the super high skill way to play Vampire Lair, but it takes a lot of setup and gamesmanship.
yes. But the problem is all the stakes are in the discard.
Yes. Yes, that is also an issue.
Yeah, yeah, I agree that he probably doesn't have that. Uh, how many Drac events are left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, okay.
He's done a terrific job keeping Dracula's influence low.
13, 17. That's number 18 on top. So there are 7 that could be on bottom. Is it time to pull the trigger on Night's Flying?
It all depends on what he's holding.
So, yeah. If he had moved before, why did Mia go to Milan? Did she roll slow? Why not Munich?
I must have missed it. Maybe she did roll slow. Maybe she traded the horse to. No, Godalming already had a horse, didn't he?
Yeah.
Maybe Van Helsing moved one space too. I'm not sure. There's your challenge for you, though, Scott Sword. I want to see you use Vampire Lair to just throw a huge wrench in Dracula's plans at the last moment and win the game off of it. Easier said than done. I mean, he can take the train. That's not so bad. You can take the train from 25 to 58.
If he has a yellow 2, chances are chances are
no,
chances are
don't
he's
talk
holding...
like that. No, of course he has the right ticket at the right time on the right person. He's a skilled player.
I honestly expect a charred carriage off of Van Helsing.
Yeah, they've been trading a lot too, right? So surely he has some kind of ticket in order. Also, we saw a slow roll, didn't we? So maybe somebody has that yellow 2 after all. Make it count.
So he's in the Ionian. Will he wolf on shore now?
I probably would.
I agree.
My problem is, I mean, feed is going to put you a day behind if you want to feed. So you don't really want to do that.
I would just wolf on shore, get your points.
Yeah.
And he seems to agree.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and the thing is, if he had moved Mina the other day, she could actually be, even now, at Sarajevo.
Wow. Yeah, he was a little behind. Yeah, you gotta once you see him going like that, you gotta chase him down for that last dash.
But the thing is,
That's when all the
there's
movement
been
comes
no
into play.
sense of emergencies, and there's still 2 more charred carriages left. Surely they've got some stuff. They've gone through 2/3 of the event deck. Surely they've got some.
I don't know what he's got, and don't call me Shirley. Here he goes. LO2s abound. Dr. Seward's moving, but Dr. Seward's irrelevant.
Yeah. Alright. Charred carriage.
Helsing, what is he gonna do? We need you. We need you, old man.
Yeah, since that was from the Ionian. Okay, there it is.
But it's still really dangerous because, like, Dracula can now win with just obfuscation, right? He doesn't have to do the expected thing, go to the castle. He doesn't have to do anything predictable at all. He could go to 56-17. He could go to 6, 49. I mean,
that's why
his
Seward
options.
should be supplying, try to find his scouts or, like, let's see. Yeah, there's still 1 scouts. There's a local rumors. Wait, no, there's still both evil presences. That might be.
Mhm.
Well, no, there's only 1 evil presence. So there's only 1 proxy event. In truth, there's very little left. There's 1 surprising return that's yet to be played.
Psychic Bond won't help here either because Dracula can only be in Baltica.
For now, yeah. But unless they like last minute pick up a vampire lair, well, the vampire lair will be no use to them because there's no stakes. Not to mention it has to be played by day.
If I'm Dracula here, I'm using tonight's move, assuming he's in 50. I'm using tonight's move to move to 56.
I agree.
You follow me there?
Yeah, I agree. They need another charred carriage for Van Helsing, and sense of emergencies.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or possibly hide, as the hide is coming off.
It's true, but you sure would feel silly if the other guy just was like, well, I guess I'm going to lose. I might as well go check there anyway with my fast horses. And then they all pile on you. You sure would feel silly if you're expecting them to all move over you. But since they couldn't get there anyway, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. What Seward should have been doing instead of moving and supplying, because he could have got. I mean, the top event is a Drac event. It's not going to help them.
Right. At this critical stage.
Let's hope that they have that renewed vigor.
And if they don't find him, they could still CG him for the win, potentially. Like, if let's say he did go to 56, right? And they check a bunch of places and don't find him, and then they just CG 56 and 17.
Yeah, he's
dead.
Yeah, he almost certainly went to 10 or 56.
No, Scott's I wouldn't have played my CG there, because he was so likely to be in Sophia. I mean, you might have in order to push him towards the hunters.
Yes, confine his movement and push him towards you.
That actually that's true, but I don't know. Maybe you save it for this right here.
At this point, it's too late because if you don't get him by this night,
you're right.
Game.
Like if he's
that
in
was his
Bucharest,
last chance to use it.
You're right. Like if he's in 56, you could kill him with it by forcing him to see. But if he's in Bucharest, you can't.
Okay, it's not on a hide.
Then there's no renewed vigor in play.
Yeah, so he didn't have that.
So Godalmig's not going to be able to check anywhere else.
Yeah, and Drax Drax has 4 HP, so even one hunter might be able to do it. Especially since, with all this supplying, there could be some holy bolts around.
It's true. It's true, and we don't know what kind of hand Dracula's going to draw. If Dracula was trying to be safe from CG, he would have likely moved to 10 for the reasons I said earlier, right? Because Klausenberg and 22 can't be CG.
Yeah.
But if he did that, Van Helsing could potentially get to him.
Yeah, Van Helsing would... Any yellow ticket gets him there.
Yes, then Mina could play Sense of Emergency if she has it.
Yeah, this is going to be very, very close.
Anything could still happen. There's no way to know. Unless you're the hunter player.
For Mina to get onto Dracula, regardless of whether he went to 10 or 56, unless he faked and went to Valona or Salonika. Salonika is actually a reasonable spot as well. I mean, you're not safe from CG, but...
With so few points left, like with so few turns needed to make, yeah, he could have done anything. That's the really scary part. He doesn't have to worry about, what if I get boxed in and I can't go back to C? Like, that's not going to matter. The game's almost over. It's a very dangerous situation when he has the freedom to just do that. Where every option looks as good as the next.
Yeah. It all comes down to whether or not he finds him.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, Dracula could have even gone to Belgrade.
Yeah, he could be sitting right next to him.
He could have gone to sorry. He couldn't have... No.
He could have
he could have gone to Sarajevo.
Yeah. Counting on them to jump over him.
What's gonna happen?
Okay, now he plays his knife to just prevent any points.
Yeah, don't let him get another point.
Not that it matters.
It matters.
Yeah.
It could, in theory, matter if it landed a point and then somebody moved on to Dracula's space and he was standing on another reckless vampire, right?
Yeah.
And then that thing fanged you twice. I mean, you could have, in theory, lost to that. So, good night. Yes. Let's recognize.
Yeah. So...
Hired Scouts?
No, that's a Drac event on top.
It's a Dracula event, that's right.
If Stewart had been sitting there, they would be two more...
he should have committed.
Should
have committed to...
He could have drawn that one and one more.
Right.
And the Hired Scouts would be beautiful right now.
Oh, that would have been insane. You could check 10 and 49. I mean, that would still leave options open for Dracula.
Alright, it seems that
makes sense he wouldn't go there.
Alright, sense of emergency? Because if he's at Varna, that's the only way she's going to get there. No. So you have to hope that he was trying to be sneaky. And didn't go for the safe play.
Okay, so... Now, if you have CG,
actually,
this is your last chance.
Here's the thing. He actually
so many plays.
Actually, CG can still save the day here. If he's at Varna, you put the permanent token at Constanta, and then if you have all the Hemley hosts, or if you have the remaining 2 Hemley hosts, you push him out to sea. He can't come back, he'll be able to misdirect, but I suppose it won't save the day, but it would give them one more day, like if they have a vampire lair to cycle through the deck enough.
Oh, you're right, because
Because it would push him out to sea.
he has misdirect, so he can just misdirect the one that they don't put the token on. Yeah, I think if he had it, he'd have played it.
Game.
Probably a turn or two ago, like Scotsword said.
Oh, yeah. If Seward would have drawn that this turn, had he just stayed there. Oh.
Well, no, he drew it off the bottom. Also, he had Sensational Express. Oh, brutal.
GG, well played. So, that game goes to Gio Valgringer's doll, with 4 health remaining.
Played. Good effort, both.
Yeah, uncertain to the last.
Yeah, there's still always a chance there. But yeah, it's tricky. After he wolf formed to 50, it's like I said, he could have gone to so many different places, and they were all just good options. Or decent options.
And had he been 1 turn faster, me would have been closer.
Right, you could have learned more quicker.
Yeah, that movement there cost him the game, I think.
And he did go to Varna.
Yeah, because then she would have been a little bit closer and would have been able to jump on him and force one last battle to try to finish it.
Right, yeah. Well, that was fun.
Yep.
I had a good time. Thanks for joining, everybody.
Yep. But
anyway, I'm gonna sign off on that one, buddy.
Yep. See, till next time, Jaro. And I hope everyone has enjoyed watching this, and will join us for the next one, which if you're interested, the next tournament week, I and my teammate Randiv will be facing off against you and Scott Sword. So if you want to see more of them, come watch me.
Heck yeah. Excellent.
Till next time,
have
folks.
a good night.
Till next time, folks. Bye.